Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all of you dear students. We are learning class 9 science biology. In that previously we completed the mind map of chapter number 6, that is tissues. I hope you people now clearly get idea about which are the plant tissue, what is their location, what is their function, and which are the animal tissues, same with the location and function. Okay, dear students, today I am starting the activities of this chapter, chapter number 6, tissues. In that, today I want to show some of the permanent slides which are here in our biology lab, and that slides of our the one slide we having, that is Phloem TS. Dear students, you can see over here that TS is written. TS means transverse section. Okay, the second permanent slide we have, that is of xylem tissue. The third slide, that is parenchymal tissue. The fourth one is Chlorenchymal tissue, and the last one is Chlorenchymal tissue. Dear students, in brief, we are taking the intro of this all of these tissues. First of all, this all tissues are plant tissues, that you all know. Getting, dear students. Now, what is the function of the phloem? To transport food from leaf to different parts of the plant, right? What is the function of the xylem? To transport water from roots to each and every part of the plant. Then parenchyma is one kind of simple permanent tissue, dear student. The main function of parenchymal cells is to store either storage of food or storage of waste. Then next is Chlorenchyma. What is Chlorenchyma? It is also one kind of permanent tissue, dear students, and the main function of Chlorenchymal tissue is to provide mechanical support to the plant, because the cells which are present in Scelerenchymal tissue, they are dead cells, and mainly they are providing support to the plant. The last one is Chlorenchyma. Chlorenchyma is actually a type of parenchyma, dear students, as we had already discussed, that sometimes parenchymal cells are having the chlorophyll with them, and due to the chlorophyll is present, they are able to do the process of photosynthesis, and at that time that parenchymal cells are called as chlorenchymal cells, and such tissue is called as chlorenchymal tissue. Whereas sometimes parenchymal cells having air having buoyancy capacity, means to allow the particular plant to float on the water, at that time that parenchymal tissue is known as parenchyma. So dear students, today we will show all of these cells of these tissues under the microscope. So let's begin with it, dear students. First we are starting with the parenchymal cells. Okay, as you all know, have to observe a slide under a microscope. For that we have to keep the slide on the microscope. We have to fix it on the stage. Okay, after fixing it, we are using low power microscope here, dear students. We are observing under the 10x. You can see the 10x written over here on the lens. Okay, so now we will start observing it. Okay, so dear students, you can take a look of parenchymal cells under the microscope. Okay, so dear students, might be you are thinking that these cells look exactly like our onion cells, right? Of course, dear students, these are the onion cells only, because if you remember, I told you that I told you that for observing onion cells, we are only taking an epidermal layer of an onion cell, right, dear students? So you can get the idea here also that parenchymal cells are present where they are present in the epidermal area. Okay, so I hope you are clear with the slides of parenchymal tissue. Now further we are moving with our second type of tissue, that is sclerenchyma. Remember dear student that sclerenchymal cells are dead cells, and the main function of this tissue is to provide support to the plant cell. Okay, so dear students, we had adjust the slide of this sclerenchymal tissue, and now we are take a look under the microscope of this sclerenchymal tissue. That you can see over here that the sclerenchymal tissue under the microscope. Also we had learned dear student that sclerenchymal cells having a very thick cell wall. So you can clearly see the very thick cell wall over here dear students. Getting the cell wall of this sclerenchymal tissue is very much thick. You can see over here under the microscope. Okay, so this is all about the sclerenchymal tissue. Okay dear students, now further we are moving with our third type of tissue, which is another type of parenchyma under the microscope. Okay, so dear students, this is the we had adjusted the slide of the Chlorenchyma. Now we are take a look under the microscope of the Chlorenchymal tissue. Dear students, you can observe see over here that the very much dark color you can observe over here. This is also a transverse section. So this is all the plants. Yes, that is the chlorophyll present under the epidermal layer of the plant cell, for so that they are able to do the process of photosynthesis, and that is why they are known as Chlorenchyma. Okay, so this is all about the Chlorenchyma. Now further we are moving with our next slide, that is xylem tissue. That what is the function of the xylem? That the main function of the xylem is to transport water from roots to different parts of the plant. Okay, so dear students, this is the slide of the xylem tissue. It is also a transverse section of the xylem tissue. Dear students, if you remember, we had learned while learning xylem tissues, we had learned different types of cells are present, because xylem and phloem, they both are called as the complex permanent tissue, because the cells which are present in xylem and phloem, they are totally different in shape, size and function. So we can observe over here dear students that different kind of cells are present under the xylem tissue under the microscope. Afterwards in detail I will tell you with the labeling that which cell is what. Getting dear students, so this is the look under the microscope of the xylem tissue. Okay, so this is all about the xylem tissue. Now further we are moving with our next slide, that is phloem. Now what is the function of the phloem? To transport food from leaf to different parts of the plant. So now we will observe phloem under the microscope. Okay dear students, this is the slide of the phloem tissue. It is also a transverse section of the phloem tissue. While learning phloem tissue, we seen that phloem tissue having 4 different types of cells, that is companion cells, sieve tubes, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. So this is the look under the microscope of the phloem tissue. Okay, so this is all about this five slides we have observed over here, dear students. Now remember, this all the tissues are plant tissues.